Steve, how are China and Russia looking at this? When you take a look at the approach here from Trump, he's taking aim at allies, he's taking aim at partners, going to bat with them. Is this something that maybe they're welcoming on the other side of the world?
Look, I mean, China is very, very, joined at the hip with the U.S. economy, more than $750 billion in bilateral trade between them. But my sense is that China has a pretty deep confidence in its situation in the world, that it has backstops, that it's able to move things. Of course, it would be costly, but it would be costly to both the U.S. and China if we were to have a serious trade war. But I think that right now we're already beginning to see, with the bans of rare earth exports and other rare salts, I should say, and other trade actions that China is taking preemptively, given what Donald Trump has talked about, that I think China and Xi Jinping, its leader, is going to respond very toughly on the front end, drive costs, and send signals. They're already beginning to ban other exports on which our U.S. National security infrastructure is dependent, from the Department of Defense with some of our contractors in that space. So I think that we're going to see some tough times and some tough posturing, and we'll have to see what it means when it comes to dollars and cents and economic impact. But right now we're seeing both sides essentially getting muscled up and getting squared off to intimidate one another. Mm-hmm. That's what this period is right now. It's all about bluster and intimidation, and we won't know the real framework and detail of the equities that we have out there in this space until the Trump administration actually comes into office.
Does the U.S. need Mexico and Canada to win a trade war with China?
Yes. Look, I mean, I think the bottom line, I think is one of the most important things to discuss. If China is the global geopolitical threat, and you can add Russia in there, but Russia is much, much smaller. They have weapons and they invade countries, but China is the big gorilla in this. Then you've got to ask, well, if you're going to onshore because if you're concerned about China, if you're going to friendshore to friends, well, you've got to be nice to those friends, and you've got to have a good relationship of mutual trust. Canada and Mexico in North America are the most vital friend for friendshoring and backstopping the North American strength against China. If we alienate Mexico and Canada, then it truly is not just America first, but America alone in the world. And America alone will not be able to handle China with the Belt and Road Initiative and its sprawling relationships around the world. And by the way, if I were China and Mexico, I'd begin doing deals with China just to hedge against the crazy behaviors from the United States.
All right, Steve, given us a lot to think about. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.